Welcome to the Christian and Daniel Show.
It's about to get real, well, you know the deal. You won't have to guess how either of them feel. Bringing up the things you don't think to know. Never knowing where the conversation will go. Just a little more than anything goes. It's a Christian and Daniel Show.
What Kermit the Frog used to do at the beginning of the show sometimes. Most everyone on the show, who visits us on the show would not be old enough to know that. Hi, everyone. I am Christian. Of course I am. I'm Christian.
And I'm Daniel.
This is Daniel. And this is the Christian and Daniel Show. The Christian and Daniel Show. I need to be a little crazy today, babe, because let me tell you, I did not have a crazy day, a day I want to brag about. So I'm realizing I need to release here, and this will help me be in a better mood the rest of the evening.
Well, thank you, everybody, for watching. If you're watching us on Facebook and LinkedIn, would you please share this on your page so that other people can watch with you? If you're watching us on YouTube, scroll down, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. It'll let you know every time there's a new episode on the air. And for those of you watching us on Instagram, welcome to the show. Where is it? There it is. Welcome to all our friends on Instagram. Please comment on the Instagram page, and I'll make sure to read your messages out loud. Why were you so stressed today? I feel like it was one of those. I was so stressed today. How stressed were you?
I was so stressed. I was ready to just curl up and lay on the floor in fetal position and fall asleep. There's some very, very specific process-driven work, which always drags my personality type. I'm not a great person with process and procedure. And, I like to go out and talk with my clients when I'm training. I don't always follow the slide. I don't always use my presentation exactly the way it is. And I'm a free spirit. I guess in that way, I am kind of a creative free spirit. And so when I get weighed down with process and procedures that I have to do, and particularly ones that are new to me that I'm not familiar with, like Google, like making Google Calendar appointments and invites, making Zoom invites, and creating a template to use for all of my corporate Zooms, and a very specific way to do it. And then people write instructions and they're excellent. I'm not saying the instructions I received weren't good, but people forget. And I did this in IT a lot when I worked in IT, information technology. I would write instructions out for people on how to do something on their computer, but I would forget, and it's easy to do this, that I know every single step by heart. So when I'm writing the instructions, I forget to write the very specifics of what each step, like if I write in the, copy this phrase into the description box, but there's no box that actually says description. It's just the space underneath something, but I forget to specifically describe that to someone. They're lost. They're like turning around in circles for however long before they ask you, where is this description box? And then I realize, oh, shoot, I just know where it is. So I just said, write it in the description box, but it's not labeled. So I need to be very specific and tell you, underneath this line, click there, and there's no actual box either. It just looks like you couldn't change it. Highlight this phrase, delete it, and add this one in. Cut and paste this one in from the email I sent you. But when you already know what you're doing, it's really hard to write instructions for someone who has zero concept of what you're doing. Like, I have never set up a template in Zoom. I didn't even know you could do that. I just learned how to set up templates in Google and Gmail. I didn't know you could do that. I don't have a lot of experience in Zoom and Google everything, the Google universe, except for the search engine. And so it really frustrates me and drains me because I'm going around in circles trying to figure something out that just, unfortunately, it's very easy to do, to forget that people who have no idea that you really have to write everything like very, very, very clearly out.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I fell victim to, was I just didn't understand a couple instructions that were prohibiting me for over a couple hours
So how,
getting the assignment done.
how
And
did you decompress?
I went and I made sure all my emails were answered. Anything new that came in was answered, close to 5. And then I just said, I'm not even scheduled to work till 5, but I just noticed that that's when things tend to quiet down. And so I'll say I went a little earlier. I went probably about 4:45. I shut my work laptop. I went into my bedroom, because I've also been getting like this pre-heartburn feeling right in my solar plexus, which is my intuitive area. And there's some people screaming outside, like maybe they're working out, maybe it's the police people. But my solar plexus has been acting up. Like in that area, I've been feeling like a pre-burn, like you're gonna get a really wicked case of heartburn mainly because of my hiatal hernia, which means my little door doesn't close all the way or that efficiently because I've thrown up so much in the past few years. So I've been feeling that, and that drains me even more because I'm not good with pain. Daniel can attest to this. I am horrible with even the slightest pain, and I am getting drained, and I am not at my best when I'm feeling any level of pain, particularly when it's all day long. And I'm not super hungry because I'm on Ozempic, but yet when I get hungry, it actually hurts more. And then I eat something and it hurts even more. And then it digests and it doesn't hurt as much. And I am done with this. This pattern is driving me nuts today. It doesn't happen every day. This is all brand new today. And so I went and like curled up in the fetal position on my bed at 4:45, put on TikTok and just left it running, and occasionally would swipe up or down. So Lord knows what the algorithm thinks I want to watch. And I didn't fall asleep. Like I didn't go all the way to sleep. I just let my brain completely release. Like I said, I have this thing in my head. I picture it's a sci-fi thing, and it's hard to understand outside of my head and my experience with sci-fi. But I always picture this long metallic cylinder that's a power source, it would be a power source on the Millennium Falcon or something like that. And you push it in, you twist it and lock it, and it activates. Lately, what's been working in my brain is when it gets going too much and I'm laying in bed, I go, okay, all that awake energy needs to be converted back to sleep energy. And in my mind, I picture myself taking this power cylinder or power pack, plugging it into the hole in the ship, and then locking it in. And that's a trigger for my brain, and it starts to relax. And I'm able to usually go to sleep. And I could do that also and not necessarily go to sleep, but I did that. And then I noticed that the heartburn stuff started dissipating. Like when I realized it was after 5:30 already, I said, okay, you got to get up and you're going to do the show. And you need to, but I didn't feel all the pain. Now there's a teeny bit back again, because I changed position and I started getting a little stressed that I was running late. And then I just told myself, you know what? You need to calm down, take a breath. Don't go spinning about stuff you don't need to spin about. It's our show.
You spin me right round, baby. No.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been doing all day long. Is like see him, turning, you turn round.
Well, yeah, there's something that you said, because we have our subjects for the week, and there's something that you said, which is kind of about etiquette, and because you were talking about people outside and people calling work, and for coming,
Charlie,
pretty Regina.
Hello, Charlie. Hello, Mr. Hendricks.
Nothing like a good Regina to shake up the mood there, Charlie. Oh dear.
I love it.
Oh dear.
But yeah, it feels good to talk it out because it's just what I was feeling. It's what's been hard on me today. It made my work hard today. Like today was a hard day of work. Not that, I mean, come on. Let's not play. I love what I do, so I'm very lucky that most days don't feel like hard days of work. But every so occasion, I guess I could hear my dad's very negative his always negative thinking. Like, well, you got to pay the piper sometime. You can't just always be happy. And it's like, that's not true. Unfortunately, that's not true. But that is just the way he's thinking. I hear that in my voice. I hear that in my head. You got to pay the piper. So yeah, they're going to be hard days. And not everything's perfect. You did get us laughing. And thank you so much, Charlie, for that.
Hey, compadre.
Hello, compadre. Hello. And Michael, hello.
If I had heartburn, it means I'm backed up.
Yeah, I am not backed up, though. That I can make a guarantee.
So for everybody, well, welcome to the show. Some of the things going on today. I wanted to bring this one up first because I wanted to test everybody on their etiquette.
Hello, comadre.
Hey, comadre, ¿cómo estás?
Yay, so glad you guys are here. I love the picture you sent, by the way. We'll see it in a little bit.
5 a.m. Well, Charlie, thank you for, whenever you leave, thank you for jumping in.
Oh, Charlie, 5 a.m.
Everything's.
I was just talking. I've had a very, very challenging
good night
day.
so far. I took a nap. My friend Lee's car was breaking down, so I had all these plans for today. It didn't work out the way I wanted it.
None of them.
So I ended up driving him around. We did have Arby's for lunch, which was nice.
Ooh, that sounds good.
We ended up at a Pep Boys across the street from the place where I used to get my tires, Mountain View.
Oh, Mountain View over in Huntington Beach.
And see you soon. All the love to you.
Thank you, Mr. Hendricks.
Must be nice to be able to take a nap. Well, I got home because I was supposed to. I had a doctor's appointment. I still haven't peeled off my. They did last.
Usually lets me do that.
Yeah, I haven't pulled it off today, and went straight from my doctor's appointment to take Lee to his mechanic. We got there about 11-ish. We didn't get home till about 3, and
car stuff always does that. It's always hours.
That was it. And I didn't take my pills. And those pills not usually get. If I'm tired, they'll let me nap longer, and I did. Freddie on Instagram is saying hi. Hi, Freddie.
Hi, Freddie.
Here on the show.
I almost want to say you should have dropped Betsy off at the Mountain View.
Right, have them check my tires.
Have them check the tires, and because I do think you have a nail in your right back tire, and also have them just do an oil change.
And I should have done that today while we were.
It didn't even occur to me that if you're going to be there for 3 hours.
But there's like a lot of fast food places around there, so we went to. I don't get Arby's enough.
What was the restaurant we went to? That really good breakfast that was there. Was that Marie? Was that Marie Callender's?
Mimi's.
Huh?
It was Mimi's.
Oh, Mimi's. That's right. Mimi's is still around, right?
You're sick.
Oh no!
What's going on? Sending some good vibes your way.
I know. I'm so sorry to hear that. I hate that. Well, it didn't seem like one of you was too sick to be climbing like the refrigerator like a jungle gym.
Okay, well, instead of going here first, I'm going to go ahead and do a junior moment. Junior minute. Here's
our junior minute. Look at that.
What the heck? What the heck? From the description that I got is that he was going, if you see, I don't see it, but apparently
it's right there at the top in the middle. There's a little jar of peanut butter.
Okay, so that's what he's going after.
And then he happened to look, apparently something on the door caught his attention too.
But that's a 2-year-old kid. Hello.
He's 2, and he figured out to use the freezer doors handles as a ladder to get up into literally into the refrigerator to get what he wants. I mean, he's crazy, but he's crazy smart. That's crazy genius type stuff. I tell you, like, that's for a 2-year-old. I mean, 2. If he were like 5 or 6, I'd be like, well, yeah, duh. No, that's why I keep thinking he's so ready to go to kindergarten. Like, he's there, but he's not quite. He has to be potty trained first.
But
the fun part, the fun.
But yes, so I want to just go over the 17 rules that we should know about etiquette. And I'm just going to run by them really quick. Etiquette number 1: take out your sunglasses when you're inside. Number 2, always return a phone call. Don't text back. You should return a phone call. Wait your turn. Now this one, I don't do it all the time, but I should. Hold in the elevator for people.
Oh, I do.
Be
regret
on
that.
time. Be on time for appointments. It doesn't matter if it's
It
your
means
best
that
friend.
actually means, but does that mean on time or does it actually mean be early? Because when you're 10 minutes early, you're actually on time.
I'm always early. I don't
And
like people
with the
waiting
work.
on me.
With my work appointments, I always get there a half hour ahead of time.
I get more stressed out when people are waiting on me than when I'm waiting on people.
Yeah. And I never want to be stuck on the highway in traffic, going to a client's place, and I'm running late. I'd rather have that half hour cushion. So at the very least, I get there right on time, which is in my book late, but in their book, it's like he's on time.
And in LA, you've got to leave at least an hour early for anything. Just
yeah.
okay, opening doors for men and women.
Yeah.
Remembering little words like please, thank you, may I, you're welcome. Ask permission first before you do anything, like in somebody's office, in somebody's work, in somebody's house.
I mean, when someone holds the door for you and you walk by them and they say, you're welcome. And I go, I didn't ask you to hold the door for me.
I do say that loud. I'm like, oh, yes, please come in. I do. I expect a thank you when I open the door for you. Send thank you notes, which is not as common anymore, but at least
come on. That's very old. I mean, you could send electronic things.
Yeah, just like, hey, thank you for coming for my party. I opened your gift. I loved your gift, whatever.
Yeah.
Mind your own business when it ain't your business. Like, mind your business.
Yeah. If it don't concern you, you need to just shut the F up and mind your damn business.
I always think, not my circus, not my monkeys.
Yeah, exactly.
Make introductions. A lot of people forget about this, and I do it because I sometimes forget people's names. So I would say, "Oh, this is Christian. This is my boyfriend Christian that I talk about all the time," and then I wait for Christian to say, "Hi, I'm Christian," so that they can say their name.
Yeah. And I go, "Oh, hi," and I always know I know when he does that. He can't remember.
Now, a lot of people don't do this, but you should. A gentleman should always stand up when a lady approaches the table. But if you're meeting somebody for the first time, whether you're a male or a female, you should always stand up to greet them. So that's a good thing. If you're going to apologize to somebody, do it in person, or at least on the phone talking to them. Don't text an apology. That's cheesy. Don't take your shoes off in public. People do this on the plane now. Do not take their shoes off.
But they don't even just take their shoes off. They take their socks off. Then they start cutting their nails, filing, pumicing their heel. Are you out your damn mind? This ain't we aren't on a Calistoga across the country in the 1800s. You nasty human being.
Now, this will stop me from inviting you out to eat again. Bad table manners. You should good table manners. Don't overstuff your face. Chew with your mouth closed. Like, the only thing I do is because I'm sometimes
that's a pet peeve for me.
Sometimes I'm in meetings and we're eating, and sometimes you have to eat with your mouth. Talk with your mouth, like, blah, blah, blah. But I always cover my mouth to make sure that
I do too, because it's so rude.
Yes, and so those are the essentials of good manners. Let me look at. We have some comments. Let me look at the comments. What did you say? Oh, crazy kid. They had little sandwich. Uncrustable. His head was hiding. Okay, got you. He's talking circles around everyone.
No doubt.
Junior needs an etiquette class. Be on time. Oops. I'm never late to work, but that's a good thing.
But she's laughing.
Like, what's
my name?
Sorry, but chivalry is dead. It shouldn't be dead. It shouldn't.
But it has been for a while.
It shouldn't.
Like the fact that even a lady, when you hold a door for, a female or they, them, or it, you hold the door and they turn around and they say something like, well, I didn't ask you to hold the door for me. That chivalry is dead. Because it's not just a one-way street. It's me holding the door is polite, but there should be a thank you, kind sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
When they turn around and go, I didn't ask you to hold the door. I swear to God, I want to take that door off the hinges and just hit him over the head with it and go, I didn't ask me for a bump in the head either.
Just pumping back out.
Mhm.
What is going to? Oh, this week is this week. Today, Wednesday, is World Kindness Day,
Oh, speaking of kindness,
and this Saturday is the World Kindness event here in Laguna Beach. So it's Laguna Beach Day of Kindness, Laguna Beach. It starts at 10 a.m. We go through 5 p.m. And I'm very proud to be part of the Ability Awareness Project board. So I'm one of the board members. So I'll be there all day. I'll be, they're not on here. You can't see them on here, but there's the little cutouts with stories of young people who we lost due to bullying. And their stories are written on these little figures. So I'll be in that space, and I'll be giving out pocket hearts that day. But we're looking for volunteers. So if you're in the Orange County area and you don't have anything going on Saturday, you want to volunteer, come join us and volunteer with us.
oh, by the way, I'm working Saturday
Oh, okay.
for a bit, part of the day.
Where is it? I hate it when somebody drives by in a tight space and then they drive like, ah.
And they still got it, like, mother of God, I let you pass. At least say thank you. Like Daniel, it peeves Daniel. It's a button for him. He hates it when he lets people do. He's nice, and they don't even wave to say thank you or anything.
I wave. Thank you.
I always hold my hand up at least.
Let's count it. I cut in. 1, 2, 3, back. That's all it takes. 3 seconds to wave at the people behind you for letting you
Not
in.
even that much. It could just be.
Or signaling the lights. Thank you. I see you. Come on in.
People don't always get that anymore.
I don't get it. But yes. So this weekend, it's World Kindness Day. So which I wrote this on Facebook today, and the question on Facebook was, what's the kindest gesture you've received from someone you didn't know? And I'm going to read a couple of them. That there's several on here. It says, I had an energy trip to Israel donated for healing after my carbon monoxide poisoning. Wow, somebody donated her $10,000. This is a friend, Miriam. Brian writes, at Disneyland, our family was standing back behind the crowds waiting for the parade to start. When a cast member asked if we were waiting for the parade, when we said yes, she led us to the VIP seating area, and we saw a parade front and center. That's pretty cool. Make sure you go over to my Facebook page and you can read the rest of the stories. But Charles, my friend Charles, wrote, I love Charles. One time I was about to step onto a subway car and a gentleman was exiting at the same time. He looked at me and said, don't go in there. A homeless guy just took a crap. That warning was one of the most romantic things that ever happened to me.
Isn't that sweet?
So if you want to read the rest of the postings, head over to my page and you can read the rest of them. I always nod and smile when they let me pass, but it's usually the woman that get mad and make faces. Yes. I yield for semi-trucks for merging lane, but people should know. Yes. I mean, they're gonna get over anyway, so you might as well.
They'll run your tiny little car's booty over and just drag you along with them and not even know it.
But see that's
don't be dumb. Don't challenge a semi. Come on.
When it comes
or
to
a bus, like a full-size bus.
When it comes to cars or being on the road, I always say there are people that know how to use a car, and then there's people who know how to drive. Not everybody knows how to drive.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can start the car, press the gas, and go, but people don't know how to drive. And there's driving etiquette that should be on the list. Good driving etiquette.
Yeah, there is driving. There's a lot of driving etiquette that people don't really know anymore. Like just the very concept of using that stalk that they put on the left side of the steering wheel. It's this long stick that sticks out. Sometimes it has windshield wipers functions on the end of it. Sometimes it doesn't. And if you move it up or down, it's like these crazy little lights light up on the dashboard. And I've heard they light up outside too.
No,
but on only on one side of the car.
What form of witchery are you speaking?
I know. I know some people haven't discovered this fact yet, that stock, that stick, actually does something. It's not just there to be in the way.
It does nothing.
It is incredible. And those lights that light up don't burn out that quickly. So you can use them and know. And with newer cars, they're LED lights. So you don't even have to worry about them burning out.
What?
So I don't know. I know I'm crazy. But people don't know how to use that little stick that sticks out.
That's funny. Which
Yeah. Obviously, that's something that bugs the HE double hockey sticks out of me, is when people cannot use their turn signal and they just want to change lanes.
that is another pet peeve of mine.
I'm like, come on,
must know.
guys. It's not, I know, God, your hand gets so tired flicking that easily movable stock or stick. I have to call it a stick. Oh, it's so exhausting.
Speaking of good manners and etiquette, can I show the video, the TikTok about the couple?
Sure.
This is the one you sent me.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell them who's who. I don't know if can y'all guys read it?
I know we need to put our glasses on.
But and please play.
Maturing. Oh, yeah. Maturing is realizing that most couples do not actually snuggle when they sleep. They say goodnight, roll over. One watches videos on their phone while the other snores and farts. I'll give you all a hint. I don't use my phone in bed.
We still snuggle. You just snuggle. Well, we snuggle when we're awake. We don't snuggle when we're asleep.
Not when we're asleep. Once we go to sleep, we're like,
well, number one, we have different sleeping.
yeah.
I'm usually like midnight. I want to go to bed. I'm ready to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm not always ready.
It's rare that I stay up late. And Christian will stay up late watching TV and come to bed late. So by then I'm already knocked out. I'm gone. Well, usually most of the time. But I don't snore. So it's just
That's a nice claim.
I don't snore.
He doesn't talk in his sleep either. Folks.
I do. Okay, I know I do talk in my sleep. And
like,
sometimes
I mean, full-on conversations, not just talk like, no, it's like, hello, no, I do not understand what you're saying. Why are you asking me this? I don't understand. Can you please explain? I mean, it's like conversations.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Oh, that's so not me and Daniel and I, should I say? I hate when people say
no, I talk. Yeah, I do talk. And I have such conversations that I sometimes wake myself up.
Yeah. Occasionally, when I'm tossing and turning, Daniel will rub my back. He'll reach over and rub my back because he's still awake. And that usually helps me go to sleep. That really does help me go to sleep. So I totally understand your Jesus with that one. It's very comforting for me. No one else could do that. You know, my mom. Okay, my mom could do that too. But, you know, yeah, I snore too, apparently. No, I don't snore super loud, I don't think. I don't think the eaves are shaking when I snore, but I do fart a lot. That I know.
Hey, Carlos, how you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Joe. But I do know that I let loose a lot of air, apparently. I'm full of air, hot air.
It's not one hole, it's the other.
We're doing pretty darn good. Good. Thanks for asking, Joe.
Perfect time to enter the conversation. Welcome to the show. Before we're only at the halfway, but I want to make sure I have time. I want to show the other video.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Joe, what we just shared was a video that shows a couple in bed, a gay couple in bed. One's on their phone and the other one is snores and farts. And it basically said that in the video. And you can hear that. And Daniel said, I want everyone to try and guess who's who. And I never play on my phone before I go to sleep. So
yeah, but I'm saying, you want to set up this other video you sent me?
I don't know. I don't know which one. Oh, this one surprised me. The guy is hilarious. And it's so true what he said. And on top of everything, he looks as white can get. He doesn't even have, his last name is Weingarten. That's almost German. So I'm like, and then all of a sudden you'll see there's a moment when I'm like, what?
You ready?
And you'll see the what moment because you'll hear, just listen to him.
Realize that she's not somebody that you should mess with. I was 6 years old. I was visiting her in Mexico City, and the two of us were just sitting in the car, right? And we hit this traffic jam. There's a bunch of cars lined up, and there's this truck blocking traffic seemingly for no reason. And my grandma, my abuela, she's just sitting in the car smoking, furious, right? Just right, windows up. I for sure have lung cancer, right? And she reaches this point of like peak frustration. She's just like, hijo de puta, right? And she flicks the cigarette, window still up. She doesn't give a fuck. Just bounce right back. Then she gets out of the car, starts going towards the truck driver, leaves me in the car by myself, 6 years old in Mexico City in the 90s, okay? What I'm saying is that things didn't go well. We were gonna have to call Denzel Washington to come get me back, okay? Like it was gonna be a man on fire situation. Technically boy on fire, the cigarette wasn't quite extinguished. And my grandma, my abuela, she just goes towards this truck driver, just like a woman on a mission, just a typhoon personified. And she's just like, oye, cabrón, te lo juro, si no te mueves en este segundo, voy a agarrar mi te lo voy a meter en tu culo, le voy a sacar de tu boca y te voy a usar como la chancla. ¡Muévete, güey! Doorman, I'll translate. I got you. No worries.
Yeah.
You were looking at my feet like that's where the subtitles were going to be.
He spoke perfect Mexico City Spanish.
Oh. What's your name? Thad? That makes total sense. Okay, Thad. Okay, so Thad. So I'm sitting there, 6 years old, right? And I just heard my grandma say that if that guy doesn't move, she's going to take her foot, put it up his ass, out his mouth, and use him as a sandal. And I'm sitting there 6 years old, and the only thought in my mind is that even physically possible? All I know is I don't want to find out, right? Now, fast forward like 3 years, okay? I'm 9 years old. I'm back in Mexico City visiting her. And around this time, I learned this new phrase, okay? It's a very popular Mexican phrase. A lot of you probably know it. It's no mames, güey, all right? No mames, güey. Which is like, hey, don't fuck with me, bro, right? Now, here's the thing. I didn't know that it meant that, but I would always hear my uncles and my dad saying, and I just like picked up on context clues. One day, I'm in my grandma's apartment. She comes out of the kitchen, right? And I'm in the living room, and she's like, hey, Danny, take out the trash. And I look at her, just wanting to connect with her in her native tongue, right? And I go, ay, abuela, no me mames, güey. Okay, yeah, all right. Now the Spanish speakers know where I really fucked up.
Yeah.
Thad, everybody else, welcome to Spanish 102, okay? Because here's the thing, Thad. No mames, güey. That means don't fuck with me, bro. But what I said, not realizing it, was no me mames, güey. And that little me changed the whole meaning of what I said, because what I actually said was, hey, don't suck my dick, bro. So, yeah. So she turned me into a sandal, and I'm just a size 12 rainbow slipper up on the stage right now. So I remember the moment that I realized that she.
Oh my God. I had not seen the rest of it.
Oh, yeah. It's lit. But when he stands up and speaks that perfect Mexico City Spanish, like just like his grandmother did, and he does it so fast, I was like that. I was like, he could have been just grunting up there, and it would have been the same reaction. I mean, he does not look like someone who speaks that type of Spanish. And I love that his grandma was such a tough old broad.
Yeah, because
and then the second part when he says what he said to his grandmother, I figured I love that Joe's here because I go, anyone in Daniel's family will totally get this one.
yes, yeah, but the compadres would too. So
Oh yeah.
I only watched up until where she gets out of the car and yells at the guy, and then I stopped it because I thought that was the end of the joke. I hadn't seen the rest of it. That's pretty funny.
And he's all, my grandmother uses me as a chocolate. Don't suck. I can't believe you said that.
But you know, as a kid, I think as a kid we hear Okay, I'm gonna put the compadres on blast right now because it irks me when people do this. It irks me. What is it? Solid standard, well control. Yes, right.
Yeah.
He comes up to the guy, yeah, and
He
then
is
he's the
great,
Daniel too. He's the
He was
Daniel.
literally textbook perfect.
He's another Daniel. But when adults say words like that, when they say phrases like that in front of kids, and then as a kid, you just think, oh, well, they're saying it in public. I can say it in public. Because I used to be that kid because I grew up around a lot of older people. So, because, being the baby, and I was like, they're saying it. And I would call people by their first names, and I would get in trouble. I'm like, well, you're calling them by their first names? Like, what the hell? But it gets you in trouble when you say phrases in front of kids and then they start repeating them. Comadre, compadre. So just a little heads up on that. But anyway.
But the counter to that is he used it and he's making money doing it.
Yes. Okay, so this is the deal. You are able to do this in front of Junior, but as soon as that little boy starts walking and talking, I'm putting him comedy classes.
He's already walking and talking.
But he's not real. I mean, you know what I mean. As soon as he can start making sense for himself, we're going to put him in comedy classes.
Oh,
You know what I mean. Don't make that face. He wouldn't be able to do comedy right now. So shut up. You know what I'm talking about.
Just be mindful of anything you say because kids will repeat it.
Being
Well, and
mindful.
you have that, I'm sure you have that experience with your nephew. I'm quite sure your nephew has heard plenty of interesting conversations.
Well, I mean, their family coming from both sides. My mom was not a bad word. She
No.
didn't do that word. My dad kind of did.
Oh, yeah.
And on the other side, well, I only really knew their paternal grandmother.
Yeah.
But she had a mouth on her. God bless her. But when she was alive, she did have a mouth on her. Like she did. And so, but family members, I mean, my parents and adults, aunts talking about I know.
Oh my God. I love those moments. I think those moments are memorable and adorable.
Because you don't know what they're talking about. I mean,
you don't have context. Like you said, you don't have any context. You just hear it.
I would hear, like, as a kid, you're running back and forth, but I used to love standing around with the men at the bonfire and just cooking or whatever. You listen to these conversations and you hear about things, and then and then I would go and hang out with the moms in the kitchen because I used to like to be help or play cards or whatever. And then the conversation opens. You're like, oh yeah, well this, and you don't know you're not supposed to say about what happens when they go to the bars. You're like, you don't know that. So yeah, I was that kid. So I had to choose very early on what group I had to stay with. I was like, oh, I hope you're doing all right.
That's funny. That's funny. That's awesome.
Oh my God.
And I love we have an audience that just about everyone knows exactly what you're saying.
We have to be careful, yes. And then it feels like you're lying to kids because you're using code words. We don't know what secrets to give. No, nobody.
Welcome to my world.
It's yes. And let me tell you,
Daniel has the hardest time managing me around his family because he's always like, don't talk. Like, I know a lot, but I'm not supposed to talk about any of it. And he's like, don't say that. Don't mention that. He is constantly on guard. I think he likes it better when I'm not there. It's easier.
Well, okay, now first I want to say a big hello to Eric watching us on Instagram. My amigo Eric from Dallas. He was my he was the MC for Alianza while I was traveling with Ford.
Oh yeah.
Summer. So hola Eric, ¿cómo estás, compadre? Watching all the way from Dallas. Yes, and comadre or compadre, y'all can chime in on this one if you want, because there are things when you say it's like, okay, don't say anything, pero.
Yeah. And I will say, I grew up an only child, so I never had secrets to really keep. And now I have one sibling I'm in touch with, and other siblings. And yeah, there's already stuff now that I've been told that I know I can't talk about or bring up within my new sibling structure.
Yes.
But I had to learn that. I have to admit, the Ramones family kind of taught me. Daniel's family taught me I had to learn the hard way. Like, don't mention this, don't mention that. You got to be picky. You got to know what to say and what you can't say.
And let's be honest,
You
even
don't want to
within
become
siblings,
someone's chancla.
yeah, within siblings, you're like, okay, te voy a decir algo.
Yeah.
Pero,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's always a prep class before we arrive to families' houses. Do not mention this. Do not mention this.
Yeah.
Do not- And or otherwise, there's a conversation on the way home. Why did you say that?
See, ¿verdad? And then, like, it's always usually on the flight home, like way after whatever I said. He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "You're still holding on to that?"
Because you do, because it's going to come up in another conversation and have to figure out what to say. So, anyway, it's 22. You ready?
Oh, sure. Wow, time flew tonight. My pick of the week is The Diplomat. It's on Netflix. It stars, I'm sorry, I didn't like the show she was on. Anyway, the main actress is from an old show that she played a girl on. Well, she was obviously a girl who experienced life.
She was on Felicity.
Oh, there you go. She was Felicity. And she's not a little girl anymore. And she's playing a female diplomat to Great Britain on the show. And it's really good. It has all like the West Side, or it has the West Side feeling to it, where there's lots of drama going on. And she's trying to manage all these diplomatic situations, but then she also has a philandering husband she's trying to manage. And she, and then there's a whole bunch of other personal stuff going on. And it's just, and she didn't want to be a diplomat. She didn't want to be the ambassador to America in Great Britain. She never wanted that role. Her husband actually wanted it. So he's always competing with her a little bit to show that he would have been the better choice. And it's quite entertaining because it's multifaceted. So if you don't like just political comedies or drama, there's regular drama and there's non-political stuff that you can get into too. It's just a great show with the Felicity actress, and basically her husband is pretty well known too. I just don't know who he is. I just don't know their names. Sorry, I didn't do the research. I was curled up in bed before this.
With that, my pick of the week. My pick of the week is it's a show called Dress My Tour on Hulu. If you like competition shows and if you like reality shows and you like fashion shows, this is a show for you. It's very much along the lines of all the other, Project Runway and Making the Cut. It's along that lines. There's 3 judges. There's a competitors. These are all fashionistas. They're all designers. But the main idea of this particular competition, man, I'm lost for words right now. The main idea of this competition is to dress the dancers for singers or the singers. So they have some really cool names. The last episode I watched was Unbreak My Heart. I just lost her name right now. But so they're creating wardrobe for the dancers or for the singers. And there's a little drama, like almost every show. This show is getting really good because they all think they're cool and hip and they think they're on top of it. But some of them really are not. Some of the fashions that they create, you're kind of like, But I'm really watching it for the drama behind the scenes because there's like all this lying and cheating. And, there's always one go girl queen. And I see Christian nodding. So you've watched it too?
Yeah, Michael is the name of the queen.
Michael's the big guy, yeah.
He's the big guy, and he is woo.
Yeah, Tony Braxton.
Tony Braxton. The first guest is Jojo Siwa, and then they also do Paula Abdul, and they did one more singer who was, I'm thinking of Paula Abdul. They had to dress her, but she said, "I want to be dressed for age appropriate, not like I would have worn in the '90s."
The last one I saw was a Tony Braxton episode. She gets on my nerves now. Like I liked her, and then
I'm not a big fan of JoJo Siwa either.
I was really happy when she was coming out and she was like owning herself, but then you know what? Okay, before I go into that, watch the show. It's really funny. It's on. Like, I watch it more for the watch what was the show? Dang it. Dress My Tour. Dress My Tour. Watch Dress My
Yes, my
Tour.
tour. Oh, I like you forgot the name.
Watch it for the drama. Watch it for the. I don't watch it for the style because it's not something like you would wear out. But if you like style, watch it. It's really funny. But okay, JoJo Siwa. I was very excited for her when she was coming out because she was this little toy girl forever. You know, they dressed her like a little toy. She was supposed to be that image, and she really did. She really was the voice for a young generation that wasn't available for a long time. It was awesome. But then she comes out, and I'm like, yes, like you're bringing that generation of people with you. Awesome for you. But then she made the same error, and I'm going to say this: she made that same, and it's not a purpose, but it's the same thing that almost everybody does when they come out, like at that age, like a little older or even older. It's they're trying to be every gay in the spectrum at once. It's all the rainbows and the changing personalities and the go girls, and everybody does it.
I was going to say, I came out when I was 26, and that was me. Like, I came out and I like kicked that freaking closet door off the hinges. I had rainbow stickers all over my car. I had rainbow flags all over my house. I had rainbow this, rainbow that. Like, I was super gay. Like, and I was behaving not like me today. I was behaving like what I thought gay people should behave like.
Yeah.
And I ended up moving to San Francisco. This was back when San Francisco was beautiful, a place that was desirable. I even moved to San Francisco, ran around the circuit scene and partied, you know, Saturday to Tuesday. And, you know, because that's what gay people do. Hello. I was wrong. It was all wrong. But yeah, but that was me. I remember even my dad, as disconnected from reality as he was, he's like, you know, you have a lot of, you're really screaming, I'm gay. Like, he goes, your car basically is screaming it, and it puts it, he goes, you're pushing it in people's faces. And he goes, that can have a negative effect.
Yeah. And mind you, let me, in case this gets out to the rest of the world, when I was 17 in the late 80s, 1920, like I had the rainbow rings.
Now
I did the rainbow rings. I was on the pride floats. I was at all the events. I had the rainbow T-shirt. But I think what helps when you're young is that it kind of fits you, like, to be that aggressive with your energy. Like, you're 16, 17, 18. I'm like, yes, that is the time to like fully put yourself out there, experiment, see how far your gameness goes, and then reel it back as you want. But then there's a certain age. I feel like there's a certain moment where you're like you should really have a gay coach. Like, you should have a gay mentor to walk you through it.
Or you should just know who you are now. Like, realize what I had to get through my head was, I'm not, oh, hi, I'm gay and I happen to be named Christian. It was Christian Ramirez and I happen to be gay. That's what I had to switch to. That's the switch that needed to get thrown, was stop being, I'm gay and my name happens to be Christian Ramirez. And I needed to make that paradigm shift. And that did happen. It happened, you know, I was already 26, so I was a little late to the game. So it took about 4 years. You know, when I hit 30, it was like all of a sudden, like, this is a bit much. Like, I don't even like this anymore. And, you know, and that switch got thrown where it's like, oh, I could just be everyday Christian Ramirez. And I just happen to be gay, and I don't need to let no one, and not everyone on the planet needs to know that. I don't need to be like, yeah.
But I do, but you know, I've had several times.
That I'm not straight by any stretch of the term. I don't think anyone looks at me and goes, oh, that's a straight guy.
I've had several friends that have come out like later, like in their like late 20s. Like my friend Bill in Houston, he came out in his 50s. And so I can see where you don't get to live. And this is where I feel very fortunate of coming out at such a young age, that I got to live that moment.
But when you were young,
as a teen, and be like, yes, I'm gay, and I get to like experiment with it and throw it out, and nobody really like calm me down because they're like,
you're a teenager.
Yeah, it's all part of the teenage. Even as a straight kid, you're still pushing the envelope somehow and
Oh
trying.
yeah, always. That's why they're called teenagers.
Yeah. But so I feel very fortunate that as a teen, I was able to experiment and enjoy my life and not be, but I do see it that as adults, like you're so I don't mind that go for it, do it, but prior
Yeah, she is.
she's like pushing it. Yeah.
You don't need, if you're gay, it doesn't mean you need to be a pride and be drunk or stoned out of your mind on something or taking something or anything. I could go to Pride completely sober and have a great time. It really is a matter of choice. You choose how you want to enjoy your life.
I
But
do it.
I know I did go through the phase where I had to be drugged up and drunk and drugged up to have thinking this is the only way gay people have a good time, which is BS. It's not. But it took me 4 or 5 years to figure that out and a lot of recovery. So yeah. And then, it's true. We say a lot of dumb stuff when we're in that I'm out phase, and that out phase, everyone's different. Some people, it could be a year, 6 months. Other people, it could be decades.
But
And then
but I
finally
think,
are like, calm down.
but I from experience and we're gonna move on. I have one more TikTok video that I want to show. This guy I think is hilarious. Most people don't think he is, but I think he's hilarious. But I think as somebody who's coming out, you should definitely experience your sexuality and your personality and find where you belong in the spectrum. Go do it. The fact that I think it's like annoying, do not let that stop you. You go be you. You do you.
And when we're both of us are referring to annoying, I'm referring only to myself in my experience. I don't know anyone else. Like, you do what you need to do. That is part of just being a human being. Live your life the way you want to live it. If it needs to be out and proud, do it. If it needs to be quiet and conservative, do it.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, but live. That's my thing. Just live.
Yeah. But I do believe I agree with Joe. Like, celebrities are at another level. If you're a celebrity and you're coming out
and you're a public figure,
like
that's a
you
whole
don't unfortunately you don't get to do or make all the mistakes that we make coming out because people are watching you. People are watching. We know you're going to make mistakes and you're going to do something that's messed up, but unfortunately, you don't get to do it and not be called out for it. Or
yes, you're a public figure,
which is like also
that's how it is. That's the what is it? That's the price you pay, the penance you pay for all the money and fame that you enjoy everywhere else.
Yeah, because we talk about
your first class seats and you enjoy your first class experiences, and that everyone wants to give you something and talk to you. That's the price you pay. The penance you pay for that is you don't get to be just an everyday human being. You're a public figure. People are watching you and shooting you. Not shooting. That sounds wrong. Using, recording you on their cameras, recording you on their phones.
Camera shooting.
Yeah, camera shooting. I didn't mean shooting you. And that's just how it is. And yes, Michael, I was very disappointed actually with the Aaron Hernandez stories final episode. I watched it this morning. I was very disappointed. I would have liked a blurb on what happened to his girlfriend, his child, all that too.
Maybe we'll talk about it next week.
Anyway, that's a whole other thing.
All right.
Anyway.
So I'm going to show you this video because this guy cracks me up. His name's Timmy. And most of the videos are about he lost a lot of weight at one point, and now he's like into being real physical. So this is Timmy.
All right, you never know when you're going to go. And if you never know when you're going to go, you might as well go with these 3 things. 1, a silky little pump. 2, a decent haircut. And 3, urinary incontinence. You need a 4th Timmy step.
What? I didn't get that. Play it one more time.
Know when you're going to go. And if you never know when you're going to go, you might as well go with these 3 things. 1, a silky little pump. 2, a decent haircut. And 3, urinary incontinence. You need a 4th Timmy step.
God.
So basically the idea is that be pumped up when you die. Be pumped up, go with a good haircut, and you're going to be you're going to be incontinent, so you're going to pee on yourself basically. And then I think I encouraged it because at one point he was showing videos of his shorts, and I was like, if you're gonna do a camera shot of your pee-pee, make it long enough. So then he did this video and he held the camera down lower. So now almost all the time he does something. So anyway, I'm yeah. So he lost all this weight and went on this health crunch. But I'm not. I believe in one of his videos he talks about mental health. So I want to I'm going to see if I can get him on my show and talk about the effects of losing weight and how that does affect you. We've talked about that with you, how that affects you mentally and physically and spiritually.
And it is interesting to say, I mean, I'm not going to play. There are the body changes for men. There's just parts of you that start to move around and get in the way that never did before because you were heavy. And all of a sudden they're in the way. And you have to get used to that. You have to learn how to work around that, or you have to wear certain types of undergarments that keep everything contained that you never had to wear before and never even thought about. So
you change the Wonder Bra for the Wonder Shorts.
Yeah, exactly.
And just to top off before we go, we have 5 minutes. Today is Whoopi Goldberg's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Whoopi.
Whoopi Goldberg's
Girl.
birthday.
I was just watching all those songs from the first Sister Act.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite Whoopi Goldberg.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
But I think if I rank the top 3 favorite Whoopi Goldberg movies, Jumping Jack Flash, Sister Act, and Ghost.
Okay. I'll just put it out there, Michael. I am on Ozempic. You do pay a price. It's not a fun price. Not everyone has a good reaction to it. But anyway, it is not a miracle drug. It is a miracle drug for what it does. But I'll tell you that the nausea and stuff I've been feeling today is because of the Ozempic.
All right. Before we go, I want to let you know, on Mondays, the Crab and Goat Show. Make sure you check us out. Wayne Kilgo and myself are back in the air on Monday nights with a 90-minute show doing channel messages from Wayne, a mini alignment from me, and an hour of card readings. So make sure you join us for that. Wednesdays is Christian and Daniel show. And on Saturdays, I'm back with Put It Together. So make sure you, I need to change the time. Sorry. The time says noon, but it's actually 10 a.m. Pacific time. So join me Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. Except for this Saturday, because this Saturday we're going to be in Laguna at Main Beach for the Kindness Day. Day of Kindness, Laguna Beach. Thank you for that post, Christian. And Christian, there you go.
Hi, I'm Christian Ramirez, and I do spiritual coaching and mediumship consultation. So understand, I don't just say, "Oh, Grandma Josephina is trying to get in touch with you." I not that type of medium. I consult my spirit guides and your spirit guides, and allow them to deliver messages through me that can help guide your life, answer questions you have, and help you kind of just be the best and ultimate human being you can be. So give me a call or send me an email. I would love to work with you. I can work with couples. I can work with groups, in person and virtual.
Excellent. If you're looking for personal coaching, transpersonal coaching, we identify, acknowledge, and remove barriers. So go on thealignment.net where you can book your session. It's one-on-one groups, team building, and in person or virtual. And I'm looking into coming to South Texas with another organization. So I might be having a in-person group coaching out there. So stay tuned for that. And if you haven't looked for a Christmas present, Grumpy Bunny and the Colors Game in English and Spanish, you can find those books at Awakenings, Visions, and Dreams and Village Well Book and Copy. If you ordered it on LittleMaxProductions.com/Grumpy Bunny, you get them for $25 signed and delivered. So that covers your postage. And I will sign them to whomever you want. Anything else before we go?
Film I really liked, early film for Whoopi Goldberg that I loved was Jumpin' Jack Flash. That was one of my faves in its day.
Whoopi's one Sister Act.
No, Sister Act 2.
Eddie,
Sister Act 2. Number 1 is Sister Act 2. Number 2 is Eddie 3. Or Eddie, and then number 3 is The Lion King.
I don't know Eddie. I don't know that one.
Eddie.
Have to check it out. Anyway, thank you, everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday. Come back for Christian and Daniel. Remember to share this with your friends. Let them know we're on the air. For now, we want to thank all of you for watching. I want to say hi to Angie, was watching us on Instagram. She didn't say anything, but I just
Hi,
want to
Angie.
big hello to Angie and some good vibes going her way. For now, thank you for watching. Bye.